itsmintsalad, and I saw X-Men The Last Stand. It is directed by Brett Ratner, written by Simon Kinberg and Zach Penn, and if you haven't seen this movie, I will spoil it for you. This movie starts, we're flashing back to the past, when we have Magneto and Charles Xavier go to this home of Jean Grey, and Jean Grey is incredibly powerful. She literally raises cars, and I like the little added detail that's not Magneto, because he like turns around and is like, what? Who's lifting these cars? And it's actually Jean Grey, so she's very powerful. Pretty much immediately, I'm like, oh boy, she has more power than I thought that she had. Holy diggity dang! You lifted an entire ship and held back water, and then you turned a little bit fiery before you got drowned by all the water. All the water went over you. I thought you were powerful then. How more powerful can you get, Jean Grey? And then we go to the present, and there's somebody creating a mutation cure. First of all, I really like the scene. This is a very potent scene. We have a guy, a little boy, he's in the bathroom, and it seems like he cut off his own wings. Oh man, he cut off his own wings and his back is just gross and bloody, and his father is like, you should be ashamed of being a mutant. That guy is the guy leading the charge of this mutant cure. If you take this, you'll no longer be a mutant. So that's established, and there's a lot of ethical concerns. There's people who are pro this, and then there's people who are anti this, and there's a lot of protesting. It's not that violent, actually. So a lot of protesting as a result. Rogue is one of these chicks who's like, I think I do want to take this, actually. I understand. You have a terrible power set. You can't touch anyone. If I were to like, I'm gonna hold your hand, and then I steal your powers and also your life force as a result. I do like how she doesn't just steal the life force, she steals the powers. Like, she healed herself with Wolverine's healing factor, and then when she kissed Iceman, she kissed him, and it was a little bit of a breath, and then they had a whole makeout session, and then they were hurting. I feel for Rogue. I could see why she wouldn't want this mutation, versus others. They would want this mutation because they have cool powers. It really depends on what type of mutation you have. If you're like wherever you land on the scale of I want mutant powers and I don't want mutant powers. Everything is all chill. Scott is sad. Cyclops, aka Scott, very sad. I'm so sad I can't get over Jean. I loved her so much. I'm gonna go to the lake where she was at. He goes to the lake where she was at, and look who's there, Jean Grey. She's not dead, but actually she's perfectly healthy. And she's like, oh, hey, Scott, I think you should take off your glasses. Of course he's hesitant. I want to see your eyes. I can control it, really. And she does control the power within his head. She controls his power. She's so powerful, she controls his power. And then you want to know what she does? Murders him. He's dead. Well, it doesn't show that on screen. It's implied later on in the movie. But I think that she immediately just bursts his head open with the control that he has, the control that she has over his powers. Boom. This is all Xavier's fault. If it wasn't for him putting a mental block in her head, then this underlying, festering second personality that was in Jean Grey, the more powerful personality, the Dark Phoenix, if this wasn't festering and Jean Grey was just allowed to exist with being a mutant 5, phase 5, whatever the scale is, mutant 5? I know it's a scale from 1 to 5, and 5 the highest, and Xavier's a 4, I think like Logan's like a 2 or something. I don't know where everyone is on the numbers, but I just know that she's really powerful, and it's insane that Xavier allowed this to happen. This very powerful person who is angry and enraged at everyone for keeping her dormant kept this personality dormant, and then, wow, she's alive. The personality is within Jean Grey. Xavier deserves everything that he gets. As soon as Xavier told me this, I was just thinking, dude, you're actually not the goodest of guys. I mean, you had good intentions, but you know that saying, good intentions pave the road to hell? Yeah, that's what happened. Hell happened. Now we have friggin' Jean Grey. She's all loose. She's Dark Phoenixing all over the place. She's so angry. She just wants to control everything. She wants to... We have the X-Men to stop her. Jean Grey is under just the smallest, the smallest control. And Logan's there. Was pretty much in love with her too. And won't kill her? She even says, kill me before I kill anyone else. He doesn't. So what happens? Knocked out. Bam, knocked out. Now she's just loose. She's going back to her home. Xavier, Magneto are like, okay, we know she's going to her home. Let's talk to her there. Frickin' Magneto, man. Xavier was going to talk hey, I can help you, I can help you, right into her. But before he could do that, Magneto undermines him. He's like, he doesn't actually want to help you. He just wants to control you. She's like, what? And then, picks up Xavier, and then he turns into dust. Dust away. And I'm like, no, they're dead. And freaking Magneto, this is your fault. But you have appealed to the ego. You have appealed to the ego of Jean Grey. It seems like Magneto is really good at appealing to egos of the villains and then able to use them for his benefit, which is fun. Now, this part is cool, but it's also a little bit confusing. Right after we have Jean Grey go with Magneto, then wow, Magneto's base is found and then being ranshackled, but luckily Magneto has some boys to help him out, and there's a big old battle, which ultimately I'm fine with. I like the battle, but here's the part that I really like about this movie. So Logan, knowing that Jean Grey / Dark Phoenix, it's the same body, but they're different people. I feel like I should call her Dark Phoenix. Anyway, so I like about this scene where we have Logan and the Dark Phoenix just standing there, and she just obliterates anyone who's near her. She's using her powers. Logan's the only one that can withstand it. I really like this visual where he's walking towards her, but he's fighting being disintegrated like Xavier did, but then he heals back, and more and more parts of him get disintegrated, then heals back. But then this is the only way to stop Jean Grey. I gotta get in close enough, give you a little kiss, you with the got him with the knuckle. Anti-medium claws. Got her! Yeah! Oh, this is so sad. I mean, you had to do it, Logan. Oh, man. I get it. She's cute. She's a phoenix. I would also simp for her if I were Logan. But wow, I love it. I love it. I just love this scene where he's just holding her, and it's just devastating. It's a devastation. Oh, I'm so devastated. Also, I should mention, before all this fun stuff happens, Magneto shows off how powerful he is. He takes the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge. I guess there's only one Golden Gate Bridge, so the Golden Gate Bridge. Big boy. I've been there maybe a couple of times. It's terrifying to drive across, but it exists. Terrifying to drive across if you're here on the Golden Gate Bridge while Magneto is controlling it. And so a lot of people run off, people get stuck in their cars. Magneto is literally just carrying the Golden Gate Bridge, and then Magneto literally drops the Golden Gate Bridge, and then they just walk across to these mutants. They're like, we're gonna get them. Ah, he's so powerful. Also, I should mention, Rogue takes the mutant gene eraser injection thing, and Magneto, he gets hit with 4 of them. Oh man, he's so powerful. And freaking Magneto at the end of the movie, he's like playing chess. He's like, oh, I'm not powerful anymore. But he's so powerful that only like even with 4 injections, he can still move the chess piece just a tiny bit. Like, whoa, this guy's so powerful. I liked the X-Men movies that I watched. This trilogy that I watched, I really enjoyed it. I felt like it was a proper trilogy with character arcs, character development. I'm glad that Rogue gets what she wants and she can finally date. She can finally date and not kill her boyfriend when trying to kiss. We'll have a little kiss, you know? I feel like it would be tough. It was going to be tough for that guy. If she didn't get rid of her powers, I don't know how long they would have dated for. I mean, I know it was like romantic love. They're lovey-dovey, but they're teenagers, okay? Or young adults. I don't know actually how old they are. If you know how old they are in this movie, let me know. I just feel like that Rogue, oh, she did good. She did the good thing in this movie. And removed her powers! Yes! Why am I cheering her for her removing her powers? Because I like her to be happy. So I like this movie a lot. I enjoyed it. It was fun. And it left me very satisfied with the X-Men trilogy that I watched. So I gotta give this movie a solid 7 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another one. The algorithm really likes that. If you want to fast track a movie review, you can do that for $20 deals at patreon.com/ASEPresents. And if you like the help support the daily grind of all them daily movie reviews, go to this link tree. Find a way you can help support the daily grind of all them daily movie reviews. So you can go here. And until next time, Mint Salad. I'll see you later, my salad croutons, big bits. I'm gonna walk into the water now. I'm gonna get really wet when I walk into the water. Bye-bye.